Hi, my name is Lorissa Payne.
Hi, my name is Kasey Chien.
And together we will be interviewing
Miss Carmona.
Haley.
and Haley concerning our psychology project on elementary. I'm going to give it over to Kasey.
What career do you do?
Right now, I'm a domestic engineer, which means I'm a housewife right now.
What's the parental guidelines you have?
Well, parenting doesn't come with the book, number one. You just have to learn it on your own. You know what's right and you know what's wrong as a parent. So you just learn that little by little. You know, when you're raising your kids, you know that you shouldn't put them in hot water. That's just common sense. So it's just common sense and a little bit of knowledge that you learned when you were a child.
What unusual things have happened during growing up?
Oh, God. Well, I have six kids, and so I have a lot of unusual things. As far as Haley, when she was little, well, first of all, I didn't know I was pregnant with her. So I didn't take care of myself the first few months of pregnancy because I didn't know I was pregnant. But then when she was born, she was fine. Well, we thought she was fine until she was like about 8 months. And we realized that she couldn't sit down. She would fall over. So we took her to the doctor and they sent her to a specialist. And her muscles did not, since I wasn't taking care of myself properly, her muscles did not develop the way they should have. So she had to have speech and occupational therapy. And now you can see she is fine.
Totally fine.
All right, only have a few more for you, Miss Carmona. As a parent, having been able to go through the process of having older kids and younger kids, is there anything that you would have done different throughout the parental process?
I would have beat them all. No, just I can't really say yes and no because there are things that you think about later on. Oh, I should have did this differently when it's already been done. But probably not. My kids have all turned out to be good kids. One of my sons worked for the Edison company. He's a lineman. My other son, he is, I call him my little entrepreneur because he's a DJ and he works on the web for different companies, for Xavier and different companies. And then my other son's a photographer. He does photography. He's a photographer and he has his own business in that, which is doing well. And hopefully Megan will do good too.
What has been one of the most exciting experiences for you as a parent?
Having my kids. That is exciting. I mean, when they're asleep, they eat, and in the morning time, I wish the heck I would have. No, just experience with them. Each one of them has different personalities. Is unique. You have one that's kind of quiet, one that never shuts up, one that's always laughing, so you have the different personalities, which is enjoyable. Every day in my house is never a dull moment. So I enjoy them. I really do.
Well, I actually have one more question for you.
Okay.
What aspects of your personality, your morals, your values that you want your children to inherit and pass down?
Proper etiquette, to be respectful, to be respectful to not just one another, but to everyone. Accept things you want to others that you like others to do onto you. So just the respect that's my pet peeve. My kids are not respectful. They're in big trouble. So that's basically my pet peeve. I don't know, it's hard to say because I have a lot. Right now it's kind of hard to think about it, but there's a lot. You get a good job. I've worked for many years. I started working when I was 13 and worked all until recently. So, get what they want out of life.
Hi, my name is Amanda, and this is Briana. We're going to be interviewing my second grade teacher, Mrs. Atchison, at Ben Lomond Elementary School. So we'll start off the questions with Briana.
Okay, what's your name and how long have you been teaching here?
I'm Crystal Atchison. I've been teaching at Ben Lomond School for 14. And before that I was a sub for a year.
Okay, and what do you teach?
I was teaching second grade until a few weeks ago, and now I'm teaching third grade.
Okay. So how Have you ever had unusual or strange experience with any of your students? Explain, like what?
Well, let's see. My very first year of teaching, I had an emotionally disturbed boy, and I'd have to crawl underneath the tables to get him to come out, or I'd have to chase him across the field so he wouldn't go back into the streets behind the school. I also had one where he pooped on a jump rope in the bathroom. So lots of strange things happen here at school.
Like, how do you structure your teaching style so that way it suits the majority of the children?
Okay. I do a lot of visual aids. We also use a lot of the mini whiteboards. So I can check for understanding frequently, so I have them pull it out. Like, I'll show them a lesson, I'll show them what I want. I'll direct the steps, like I'll show them what steps I want them to follow. I'll show them one more time, and then it's their turn to practice. So then they pull out their little whiteboards, and I walk them through everything step by step so everybody's engaged at the same time. When we're finished with that, I have them talk to each other, so they're kind of teaching each other. So now we've got the verbal thing going and the auditory at the same time, and then after that I let them practice. Anybody who seems to be struggling throughout that lesson, then I pull them aside and I work with them in small groups.
Alright, is there anything that you would have done different during the years of teaching?
You know, that's a really tough question. Because I always reflect on my teaching anyways, and I evolve accordingly. Like, if I see something hasn't been working, then I'll search for a better way to do it. So it's always changing. It's not a set way all the time. It's always different. I use different strategies depending on the needs of my class at the time. So I don't know if there's anything that I would do different, because I try to change and flow with them as we go. So I hope that answers the question.
And lastly, what would you do for fun? Like, what do you do for fun with your students?
Away from here?
Or like
here?
just here, like with the students?
I tease a lot. And I tend to be a little sarcastic. So yeah, I crack myself up, and if my kids get it, fine. In second grade they didn't usually get my jokes until like the end of the year. But with the third graders, they get my jokes more towards the beginning of the year. So that's how I keep myself entertained. I tease and I'm sarcastic, but not in a mean way. Not in a mean way. So they know I love them. And that's what I do.
Alright, cool. Well, thank you very much for the interview, Lorissa. This is Briana and I'm Amanda, and this is our project for History of Psychology.
Thanks, Lorissa, for recording.